After making the final touches to his goatee, we're going to start prepping the skin and making sure that we've prepped the client for a full shave. In most cases, when it comes to shaving, the prep is more important than the actual shave itself. We're using a really hot towel here that's come out of our hot towel machine. We've had this steaming for over 3 or 4 hours. I'm now massaging the heat in and I'm getting my stuff and my equipment ready while the hot towel sits on Terry's face. I pre-soaked the shaving brush in hot water from the kettle. This will make the bristles nice and soft. This allows us to get a greater lather from the cream. This is what it should look like before you apply it to the client's face. Now we're using a circular motion. This will help lift the hair off the face. While the cream softens the skin for a moment, this is an ideal time to put a new blade in my razor. You can see that this is my cutthroat razor that I'm using, and I'm using Derby blades. I like to use a slide in, slide out razor. I prefer this style of cutthroat razor over than a traditional clamp. It just lasts me longer and it keeps greater tension on the blade. It's also easier while you've got cream or oil all over your hands to replace the blade for the second shave. Right, let's get started with the shave. Bringing it back to basics, something you must know when shaving is you always work with the grain, not against it. If you shave against the grain, you're going to cause irritation and ingrown hairs. So most commonly, men that come in for a shave, at the very base of the neck, which I'm working on now in the video, the hair will grow up about 1 centimetre to 1 inch. I'm working up the face until I feel the hair start to snag. This is where I know the grain changes from working up to working down. After completing the first step, which is working with the grain at the base of the neck, I've now moved to the side of the face. You can see with my hand that I'm pulling the skin for greater tension, and the blade is at about a 35 to 45 degree angle. This is pivotal to get the angle right so you don't cut your client. I'm using a bit of a backhand technique here rather than standing in front of my client and using a forehand technique. I've basically just flipped the cutthroat razor around. This allows me for greater precision on this side. You can see that I've stood at the back of the client when working rather than in front of him. I'm also using short strokes rather than long strokes, as this will cause razor burn or irritation to the skin. These angles are great and you can really see the angle the cutthroat razor needs to be to catch the hair. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but the cream is really starting to dry up. You need to be conscious about using dry shaving cream because this will cause irritation. So you either have to get it done quickly without rushing or reapply like I've just done on the other side of the face. If I hadn't reapplied fresh shaving cream, this could make the blade stick and potentially lead to me cutting him or creating razor burns. A great tip is drop a little bit of oil in your cream while you're lathering it up. This will keep it moist and keep it more lubricated throughout the whole shave. This will also stop it drying up as quick. So you can see I'm still using a bit of a backhand technique. The good thing is when you shave, it's a process. You do the same thing every time on everyone's face. Once you learn these steps from me, you'll be shaving like a pro in no time. I'm now just working in towards the goatee, detailing around the beard. This is going to give us some nice crispy lines at the end of the shave. Now I've moved in front of the client or to the side if you prefer, and we're working now with a more of a forehand technique. You can see the difference in a forehand technique as the blade comes towards me, whereas in a backhand technique the blade goes away from me. The angle we're getting here at the moment is perfect because it shows you how the cutthroat razor needs to be positioned on the face to get the cleanest shave possible. Still working with short strokes rather than long strokes, working all the way down to the bottom where the grain starts to grow up. Now for the purposes of the video, you can see I've left a little bit at the bottom 1 centimetre to an inch, just so you can really see where the grain changes, and we're going to shave it again just for the purposes of the video. Onto the last section of this shave. We always leave this till last as the hair is thickest under the chin. We leave it to last also so the cream has time to do its magic and soften up the hair and skin for maximum efficiency while shaving. I like to move around a little bit just so I can hit them angles. I'm using a range of techniques, forehand and backhand, making sure I get the cleanest shave possible. Now we're moving on to our second shave. I always like to do 2 shaves rather than 1. Someone may disagree with me. If you do, drop a comment below, but my preferred method is doing 2 shaves. I'm still using a circular motion to apply the cream to Terry's face, trying to get as much cream out of the brush as I can. Waste not, want not. The product is expensive, that's why we use it. Replacing now the blade, so this is a fresh Derby blade in for the second shave. This will give us the cleanest result possible. Again, we're starting at the very bottom of the neck, working up with the grain about 1 centimetre to an inch. This will vary on the client, so making sure you do a good consultation. This will help identify the growth pattern at the base of the neck. I'm just going to speed up this second shave just so we can get to some finishing tips and tricks. It's the same process on this second shave as we've done in the first one, using the same techniques, backhand and forehand, to create a clean shave. Just slowed it down at this part again just so you can really see the angle of the blade. I think this is really important when getting a clean shave. Moving on to under the chin, where you find the thickest part of the hair. You can see we're using some close-up action shots here which look great. We're using a bit of backhand technique, and I might now move to a bit of forehand technique to really clean up the section. After completing the second shave, I'm now going to reapply a fresh hot towel to really open the pores. This is where we're going to do our final touches to the shave. We're going to run round with a safety razor and a little bit of oil. This just helps make sure that we've got all the hairs and we've got the shave as clean as possible. So in a traditional shave you would apply hot towels, but I know a lot of people these days use a steamer. I just personally find that the towels really loosen up the skin and just create a better shave all round. Having a cutthroat shave done at our shop is a real experience for the clients. That's why they keep coming back, making us the go-to place for your wet shave in Coventry. Now I'm going to apply to the skin some multi-functioning beard and nourishing shave oil from Insight. I'll leave a link in the description below. Applying the oil evenly across the face to make sure there's no dry spots. Make sure you use enough product that you can cover the whole face. Now we're going to reach for our disposable razor. This is a key step when shaving. This allows us to work against the grain and feel if we've missed any long hairs. Sometimes you can irritate the skin, especially if you don't use an oil, so I'd always recommend this step using a specific skin and beard oil. Now I'm going to apply a black mask for a few minutes. This is going to help clean the face and also add a little bit of nourishment back into the skin. We can now use another hot towel to wrap around and then clean his face down. This just allows the mask to seep in, and you can see here now I'm slightly and gently rubbing it off his face, as the black mask is quite thick and we need to make sure that we remove all the black mask, any shaving cream that's left and any oil left on the skin. After doing this step, I'm just making sure I've cleaned the whole face up. Now we're moving on to my favourite bit of the shave, which is the ice towel. This has been soaking in a bowl full of ice for a few hours. The clients either love this or hate this. I found this step very, very important when shaving. The colder the towel, the better the result. It stops any blood spots. It starts bringing life back to the skin, and it really helps any irritation. I've now picked up an ice cube if I find any little blood spots. This is a technique that I picked up in Italy. They love doing it over there. If you're from Italy and you've seen this, please give us a shout out. I really love this technique. Now it's time for the cream. We're going to apply this using a range of different massage techniques to really finish off the shave and the whole experience for the client. Here's a bit of a fun quiz before we end this video. If anybody knows the correct terminology or the correct names for the massage techniques I'm using here in this video, please drop a comment below. Here's some finishing touches to the whole service and our shave today using my Subscribe brush. Well, actually it's Michael Holmes, he carries it around with him everywhere. Shout out the 1 Minute Barber. It's helped me really clean up the beard, and there we have it. That is a cutthroat shave done by myself. Terry was really happy, he always is. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.